Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I was going to do a quick video and show you a little purchase that I got from Loewe. I did get this from the Loewe website directly, so it did come in this really pretty box. I will say it's a belt, okay? So I'm gonna just cut to the chase, not waste too much time. It came in this cute little dust bag. I had been looking for a belt, but I was looking for a white belt, and for some reason, it's really hard to find a white belt that's very feminine. And so I had been looking for a really long time. And when I say feminine, I mean I want a feminine buckle that was not a harsh, traditional kind of buckle that you might just see anywhere. But I also didn't want like a huge logo either with any kind of distinct branding. So I had been eyeing one from Loewe for a while, but I just wasn't sure about the coloring because, like I said, I was looking for a white belt because I wanted to wear it with white dresses or different types of dresses in the summertime. So I did get this one, and I will try to link it below if I can find it. This one is really nice because it's reversible. So this is a light tan color on one side, and it's also what they call a light oat color. And I was really on the fence with this because I'm like, I don't know if light oat is gonna do it. Like, it felt a little too gray or muddy, and I just wasn't sure if that was gonna be what I was looking for. So I was very hesitant, and I just kind of let it sit for a really long time and continued doing more research before I actually committed and made the purchase. So I'm going to include a lot of different outfits that I paired this with, just so that you can see how it looks against a white dress. And actually, it looks really good. Before I do that, just to give you a little bit more detail, this is a gold buckle. It is reversible, so you can easily take out this buckle, flip it to the other side. But it's this really pretty gold. It's like a antique gold or brushed gold. So it's not shiny. It's the very delicate Loewe Anagram, which I really like. This is the color on the other side. I just feel like it's a really beautiful buckle that's very feminine, but still statement in a not so in your face kind of way, if you know what I mean. So I got this in a size 80. I will show you what it looks like on. Now I'm gonna include some clips of me wearing this on different outfits, which I will also talk a little bit more about sizing, a little bit more specifically to me. Now, if you're between sizes and you're not sure which one to get, then I would recommend you go with the bigger size, just so you can have a little bit more flexibility in being able to wear it on your waist and on your hips, depending on what kind of look you want. So you want that flexibility. But if you find that it's a little too loose on your waist, then you can always go to a cobbler, or if you have the tool yourself, punch an extra hole. This leather is super soft, so it's very malleable. It's not like one of those stiff belts. So I think that really adds to the comfort factor here. So there's a very light embossing of a brand on here. It also has a very light embossing of the size. There's a serial number, and also it says made in Spain. This light oak color I feel like shows a little bit differently in different lights, and certainly I think it's gonna look a little different on the computer or on your phone if you're looking at it online. So I will say be aware of that, because this can come off a little bit grayish, on a very light gray. It also looks a little bit taupey. It also looks a little bit white, but actually that's why I love it so much. The stitching on here is the same color as the actual leather. So the stitching is a light oak color that matches the leather. And then the stitching on this side also has a very light tan stitch color as well. This has 5 holes. I believe this is like a 1-inch width belt, which is the equivalent to 3.5 centimeters. Does that sound right? So I got this on the Loewe website. I feel like there's a lot of different variations of this actual belt, and they have like a tan and black on one side. I'm gonna show you what it looks like on, so keep on watching. Okay, so this is kind of what I was going for. If I were to do an all white look, I didn't want to do a stark white belt because sometimes it feels a little bit harsh or jarring. Also, there's so many different shades of white that it's always a little bit hard to match the white exactly. So I wanted to go for something a little bit different, a little bit softer, which is why I went with this light oak color and a little bit more feminine with the buckle. So rather than just a regular buckle, or even like a very heavily logoed buckle. I wanted something a little bit softer, a little bit more delicate, and I felt like this is a good one. And I'm going to show you what it looks like with a white dress because that's how I was really excited to try it with. So hang on. So I kind of like the contrast of this being a very, very light oak color against a brighter white. I feel like it adds a little bit more dimension, which I like. The only thing I don't like is that this is cut straight rather than having a little bit more of a point and coming out like that. I feel like this is quite a harsh and abrupt cut. If it just did this, and it just would feel a little bit more finished looking, and then perhaps this wouldn't stick out as much. Not that it sticks out a ton, but I don't really like this harsh cut. I do like it when it's a little bit more tapered and a little bit more finished looking here. And I got a size 80 on this. I was debating between a 75 and 80. Ultimately, I went with the 80 because I wanted to have the option to wear it on my hips. I'm on the very last hole out of 5 holes, so I'm on the smallest setting, but I also know that I want to wear this long term, and there's a good chance that my middle section will expand over time. I'm also not very narrow in my waist. I'm cut straight up and down. I have no nipped in waist, so I knew that going bigger was probably better for me. And I'm going to try it with some other dresses just to see how that looks, and they're not going to be white dresses, so stay tuned. Okay, so this is a dress from Aritzia. I really regret that I did not get this in an X small. I got this in the size small. It does feel like there's a lot of fabric happening, but I just have this thing where I tend to buy things a little bit oversized so that I have room to grow. In any case, this is a sage green dress, and I put it up against this belt to see how it looks, and I think it looks pretty good too, color-wise, aside from having way too much fabric on me. All right, so this is another dress that I wanted to try it with because it's got lots of little florals on it. It's a very stark white background, and I was curious to see how this was gonna look. And I think it works. Honestly, I think I can probably get one more hole punched into this just to make it feel a little bit tighter because there's still some room here on my waist, so it's not super tight. This is the light oak color against a stark white dress, and I don't think this looks too bad either. So I really like how feminine the buckle is. It's very soft. So the last dress I'm going to try on is this one. It's a very Marmite, but it's one of my favorite dresses, which I absolutely love. It comes with this, but it's so slippery, it always falls off and slips off. So I wanted a better belt for it, and this dress has pockets, which is amazing. I think it looks great because there are some light oak colors in here throughout, and this is the belt. So I actually think this looks great too. And I like that, again, it's a very feminine buckle where it's like statement, but it's not over the top, and it's very soft and delicate. And it kind of goes with the crazy florals, the abstract florals of this dress. This dress is from Aritzia, but this is from like 2020, I think. And it's one of my favorite dresses that I love, but this is what it looks like with the belt. I think it works too. It's almost is a chameleon because it could pass off as a very light gray belt as well. So if that's kind of the look that you're going for, then that could work. But I really love this. So this is a complete win, and I'm also going to show you real quick the reverse side of this, and I'm going to show you how it compares to my other brown belt. This is my Louis Vuitton Dauphine belt, and this has a bit of a more deeper caramel color than the Loewe one. Loewe has a much softer, lighter brown, whereas the Louis Vuitton one is a bit darker and deeper in color. This is also a different way that you can see the color difference, but you can see what I mean. I like the finish on the pointed end on the Louis Vuitton one rather than that harsh cut on the Loewe belt, but I like that they're different tones of brown because it gives me different options. So I hope that helped you if you were deciding or looking for a light colored belt. I always think a reversible belt is such a good idea because it just is space saving and it's like a 2-in-1, so you can always vary your look with just one belt. So I really love the versatility of that, and this is very wearable. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up. That really helps my small channel out. If you want to binge watch any of my other videos, you can do that here, and I will see you next time.